Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Okay, so I just completed chanting the initial shlokas. I hope you also did that. I didn't realize I was muted. Am I audible now? Yeah. Okay. So we have completed the 5th chapter. Today we will look at the summary of the chapter. So as before, what we'll do is we will chant sections of this chapter. So the teaching started in the 2nd chapter, and 2nd chapter was Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga. 3rd chapter was Karma Yoga, and 4th was Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So Sannyasa was introduced in the 4th chapter, and essentially the Bhagavad Gita teaching has been completed in the 4th chapter. And because of Arjuna's question, Krishna is summarizing those 3 chapters, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chapter in this 5th chapter. Therefore, for that reason, the 5th chapter is considered to be quite important. And so this chapter is roughly split into 4 sections. First section is shlokas 1 to 6. 1 to 6. 2 nishthas. Remember the 3rd chapter where Krishna talked about Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha. So those 2 nishthas, differentiating those 2, was mentioned in the first 6 shlokas of this chapter. And then 2 sadhanas, sadhana dvayam. First is nishtha dvayam, second is sadhana dvayam. 2 means, as it were, 2 means karma yoga and jnana yoga. That is from verses 7 till 21. 7 to 12 is karma yoga. 13 to 21 is jnana yoga. And then sadhanam and phalam were described by Krishna in verses 22 through 26. Okay, in the 5 shlokas there, 22 to 26, sadhanam and phalam, namely the means to achieve this karma yoga, jnana yoga, or the means to achieve the moksha, and the phalam. Phalam, of course, is Brahma Nirvana. We are going to say that. And so sadhanam and phalam. And the last 3 shlokas are really a bija, really a seed for the next chapter called Dhyana Yoga, next chapter. So this dhyanam is mentioned in the last 3 shlokas, namely 27, 28, and 20. So let us chant now the first 6 shlokas. Swapna, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Atha Panchamodhyayah.
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः
Arjuna Uvacha.
अर्जुन उवाच
Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna.
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण
Punaryogam cha shamsasi.
पुनर्योगं च शंससि
Yachreya etayorekam.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम्
तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ.
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी
यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति.
यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो
सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते.
सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते
सांख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः
सांख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः
प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः.
प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः
एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक्
एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक्
उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्.
उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्
यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानम्
यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानम्
तद्योगैरपि गम्यते.
तद्योगैरपि गम्यते
एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च
एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च
यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
यः पश्यति स पश्यति
सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो
सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो
दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः.
दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः
योगयुक्तो
योगयुक्
योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म
योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म
न चिरेणाधिगच्छति.
न चिरेणाधिगच्छति
So these 6 shlokas clarify to Arjuna that there are 2 different lifestyles, as Krishna already taught Arjuna in the 3rd chapter. Lokesmin Dvividha Nishta, like that it was said in the 3rd chapter, 3rd shloka in the 3rd chapter. So here also we have to remind ourselves that one thing is there is the ashrama. So in a Vedic lifestyle, there is always called an ashrama, brahmachari ashrama, grasta ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, and sannyasa ashrama. That is the stages of the 4 stages of the life of a Vedic person. And so the 2 main ashramas are grasta ashrama. What about brahmachari? Well, brahmachari is a preparation for grasta ashrama. So grasta ashrama becomes main. Majority of our life is led as a grasta. Then sannyasa ashrama. Then what about vanaprastha? Well, it's a preparation for sannyasa. So 2 main ashramas are there: grasta ashrama and sannyasa ashrama. Well, so last time we said The ashramas are there. And what ashrama we want to live is optional. Is optional. A brahmachari is a brahmachari, studying. But after that, the person can continue to be a brahmachari or can be a grasta, get married, and then sannyasa is always available. So these ashramas are optional. After brahmachari, then everything is optional. Brahmachari is not optional because we are born a brahmachari, sort of. So we are born like that. So that optionality is there as far as ashrama is concerned. And what about the other thing? Then karma yoga and jnana yoga. Two things we have studied. And during Shankara's time, Shankara equates karma yoga to grasta and jnana yoga to sannyasa. In his mind, hey, if you want to pursue this shastram exclusively, then you have to take sannyasa, and that is how people have been doing it also. That is the prevailing thought during his time. Therefore, in his introduction commentary, he does say jnanam sannyasa lakshanam, like that he says. So he equates the jnana yoga and sannyasa, but that is not true today. And so for us today, we may be pursuing the study of the Shastram, but we may not be sannyasis. This is accepted. All sannyasis accept that. And they do say, Swamijis used to say, today it's not like that. And but you can still study. Wherever you are, you can pursue Shastram. Wherever you are, you can do Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam. You can even do it exclusively. Being in your own home, you can do it. And therefore, there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Grasta, Vanaprastha, optional. Grasta, Sannyasa, optional, ashrama. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, not optional. That is what he's going to. That's what we've learned also. And what about Grasta and Sannyasa? What are the difference between these two ashramas? That also we studied. Difference is what? As a Grasta, the Grasta, a married person, is licensed to do anything. That ashrama, the person is married, and therefore all Vedic rituals also the person can do. The person can work, any type of work the person can do. The person can study, of course, but work becomes important in a married life, and so any type of work is doable. And even politics, the person can enter anything in the world, any profession I can do. A married person can do. Correct? That is the beauty of a Grahastha ashram. Can possess anything, can buy whatever they want, can earn and buy. And nobody can say you can't. How come only three of you and you have a 3-story bungalow? No, that's nothing. Nobody prevents that kind of thing. You can possess whatever you want. Married people in this class, almost, I think all of you are married people, except probably Raghavan. And I can't think of anybody else. Him was unmarried, but recently got married also. So Grasta Ashrama is the mainstay. We have to address that ashrama. A sannyasi has to understand Grasta Ashrama. A brahmachari has to understand Grasta Ashrama. So possess anything you want, and active lifestyle, because anything, the whole world is open. And one can have children also. Any number of children also you can have. And no Shastram doesn't say you can't have children. You can't have more than 2 or 3. No, that's all. Today's thing, it has become like that. People have 1 or 2. They stop with 2. And so the whole world is available for this Grahastha active lifestyle. Therefore, that's called Pravritti Markaha. Pravritti means active pursuit. You do whatever you want as long as it is dharmic. It is, you are doing things which are following dharma. Anything you can do. Okay. What about sannyasi? Sannyasi cannot, he should not be in this job of acquiring things. And how about this, the latest phone and latest this and latest that and latest movie, this is that. The sannyasi typically doesn't do all these things. Sannyasi must be mature enough to say, I'm happy the way I am. And my focus is Shastram. Like that, the sannyasi should be able to say. And therefore, that becomes a lifestyle there. And relationships, of course, in a Grasta ashrama, relationships are big. Two people only are married, but two families are joining together. And so the relationships have become manifold. So every other month, there is a marriage in her family, marriage in my family, marriage in her family, marriage in my family. Something or the other is going on. And the question now is whether we have to go there or not. That is the only question. Or should we go Amazon.in, Amazon.com? Should we try that route? Just send them a gift and then keep quiet. Should we call them or not call them? All these questions will be there. Okay. So this is the beauty of Grasta life. And but sannyasi, down. Even mother, father, they calling stops. And of course, wife, children, and all was there in the Purvashrama, but not anymore. Everybody is happy wherever they are. Sannyasi is happy. And so, therefore, this Grasta life is a life of high security. Correct? Sannyasa, no security. Sannyasi must have the maturity to say, I am happy the way I am. I don't need all these things that people possess. I don't need. I am secure the way I am. There is no external security for the sannyasi. No external security. But a Grasta can do whatever they want. They can secure their life. They can secure their life in many, many, many ways. Okay. But then there is another thing. Responsibility. Responsibility is very high for a Grasta. Very, very high. Because a lot of relationships, family, everything is there. Responsibility is very high. Sannyasi is by himself, herself. There is literally no responsibility. Literally no responsibility. They in fact, they should not even vote. Even that voting responsibility is not there. Voting is a right, people say. But I am telling children, voting is not a right. It's a duty. You have to vote. It is right is wrong idea. Right is wrong idea for the voting. Okay. And so you got to go there and vote. And stop saying things like what will happen, what will happen. Things will happen. You have to vote. Things haven't happened because you've been sitting at home. And so sannyasi cannot even vote. So sannyasi, no security, no responsibility. Grahastha, high security, high responsibility. Correct? So that's the difference between these two. Hey Arjuna, you can choose. You can choose whatever you want. What can Arjuna choose? As though there is choice. And Swami Paramanandaji jokes. He says, sannyasi has no security. But then he says, wait a minute, even the shika, all this hair is done, mundanam has been done. Whether it is lady or man, mundanam is done. Therefore, you can't catch me by my hair. But other people, Grasta, you can pull his hair. But no, not me. You can't do that to me like that, he says. So that security the sannyasi has. And so, high responsibility, high security, maybe high anxiety also. There was a movie, I think, called High Anxiety. I don't know. Long ago, I remember there was a movie like that. Oh, high anxiety. So, Swamiji, my grandchildren are not settled yet. Therefore, I am unsettled. Therefore, I am unsettled. That is the meaning. So, this unsettling is always there. What happened now? Everybody is settled. No, the great grandchildren, I've got now two great grandchildren. So I'm very happy. I'm happy to see them grow. And one lady told me here recently, I congratulated her because there was a function and her entire family was here. She's a maid. And her family, her children, grandchildren, everybody was there. Enamma, so I saw your family first time, everybody is there, all boys, girls, kuti, papas were there. And you know what she said? She said, yeah, I won't go until I see my great grandchildren. That's what she said. No, nice lady. I enjoyed the conversation. She was very happy about that also. And so, she said that. So I felt good about that. So see, look at, and she had no problem. She's a nice lady, everything. But this is how it is. This chakra is going to constantly continue. and that is grahastha. So, which is better if we say, well, you are welcome to choose what you want, Arjuna, but you are a grahastha and you have responsibilities. You can't abandon responsibilities. You're not mature enough to, he didn't say that, but without saying, he said, you're not mature enough to take to sannyasa. That sannyasa will come in its own time, and you do what you're doing. You're in a, first of all, you're in a battlefield now, and therefore there's no question of running away from this battlefield. And so choice between grahasthashrama and sannyasashrama. But then, and therefore Krishna says in the fourth shloka, look at that. Sankhya yoga prithak balaha pravadanti na panditaha ekamapyasthita samyak ubayor vindate phalam. Hey, these two ashramas are there. Ekamapi, do whatever ashrama you are in, do it properly, live properly, dot the i's and cross the t's. Ekamapi astita samyak. Ekamapi, just take one and then do it properly, and then ubhayoho vindate phalam. You will gain the result. You will gain the result that is to be gained from this shastram, that the shastram promises. And it is fools who say Sankhya Yoga Prithak. This Sankhya and Yoga, these two lifestyles are all different. These two, even if you take it as ashrama, they are different. They say, yeah, externally they look different, but as long as you know what you're after, then it doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you lead. Karma Yoga also and Jnana Yoga also, same thing applies. Karma Yoga is very important, and Jnana Yoga, of course, is important. And you remain what you're doing, do what you're doing, and you will get the result that the Shastram promises. So, Sankhya Yoga Prithak Balaha Ekamapyasthitak Samyak Ubayoho Vindate Phalam. And so then tell me still what is better. What is better? So that he answered in the second shloka itself. Padat pramuchyate. Where is that? Yeah, exactly. Second shloka. So sannyasa karma yogastha nishreyasa karavo. Hey, both sannyasa and the grasta life both can give you moksha. Who told you have to be a sannyasi to get moksha? And tayostu karma sannyasa karma yoga vishishyate. Now is a very specific advice to Krishna, to Arjuna. Tayostu karma sannyasa, taking a sannyasa, compared to that, karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga is superior. Translate that to grasta life is superior. Correct? You are already in the right ashrama. Do what is to be done, and nishreyasa karau. It will be something that will give you moksha. He said that already. And why? Why will it give moksha? Why shouldn't I take sannyasa? Well, number 6, if you take a look at number 6, it says Sannyasastu Mahabaho, He Mahabaho, He Arjuna, Sannyasaha tu Dukkhamaptum Ayogataha. It can be a source of sorrow. It can be a source of sorrow. And without a source of sorrow, what? Ayogataha. When you are not prepared for sannyasa, when you haven't gone through karma yoga, when you haven't gone through the grahastha ashrama, then sannyasa ashrama can be a pain, can be suffocating. Swami Paramathanandaji says, there is a psychiatrist who came to Swamiji and said, one second, I think I need to turn on the power here. One psychiatrist, he tells Swamiji that, Swamiji, I have a lot of sannyasi clients, sannyasi patients. Can you believe this? Can you believe this situation? And that means what? What does it tell you? Huh? That means these sannyasis don't want to be sannyasis. That is the meaning of this. I'm stuck now. I can't go back and change my clothes. Be where you are. Don't run after all this. Don't get enamored by sannyasa and all that. And so, so Swami says that. And so be where you are. Hey Arjuna, sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha. Then what? Yoga yukto muni brahma nachire nadi gacchati. Krishna assures Arjuna. Once you are a karma yogi, then nobody can stop you. Achirena adhigacchati. You will gain that Brahma Tattvam in no time. Don't worry. Just be committed to your ashrama. That's what he's saying. And so that's the difference here. That those differences are clarified by Krishna from shlokas 1 to 6 or 2 to 6. 1 being a question from Arjuna. Okay. Now let's chant the next few verses from 8 to 12. Let's do that. Yeah, Mohan Sai. Naiva kinchit karomiti.
Naiva kinchit karomiti.
Yukto manyeta tattvavit.
Yukto manyeta tattvavit.
Pashyan shrinvan sprushan jighan.
Pasyan srunvan sprusan jigran.
Ashnan gachan swapan shwasan.
Asnan gachan swapan swasan.
Pralapan visrijan grihnan.
Pralapan visrujan grahnan.
Unmishan nimishannapi.
Unmishan nimishannapi.
Indriyanindriyartheshu.
Indriyanindriyardheshu.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Brahmanyadhaya karmani.
Brahmanadhyaya jnadhaya karmani.
Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha.
Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha.
Lipyate na sa papena.
Lipyate na sa papena.
Padmapatramivambhasa.
Padmapatramivambhasa.
Kayena manasa buddhya.
Kayena manasa buddhya.
Kevalairindrayairapi.
Kevalairindriyairapi.
Yoginah karma kurvanti.
Yoginah karma kurvanti.
Sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye.
Sangam tyaktvatma suddhaye.
Yuktah karma phalam tyaktva.
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva.
Shantimapnoti naishtikim.
Santimapnoti naishtikim.
Ayuktah kamakarena.
Ayukta kamakarena.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
So now we are entering the section where Karma Yoga is elaborated, followed by Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga from 8 to 12 and Jnana Yoga from 13 to 21. Okay. So Karma Yoga, by now we are quite familiar with the topic. And so now the actual disciplines are talked about, not the ashrama, but the discipline of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So common misconception is what? There are many paths. There's many paths. People are, in fact, Hindus are very proud. Hinduism is the only religion which has many paths to God, right? And so that is true. That is true in the sense many paths for what? And so if the vision is clear for us, if the vision is that I am already free, if the vision is I have to go to God, and knock on his door and wait for him to open the door. Then there are many paths, no doubt. Absolutely, there are many paths, many languages, many religions, many prayers, many this, many that, and then you can go to see God. But what the problem here is, hey, what if there is no difference between God and you? And Shastram says you are Atma, God is also Atma, and the whole world is Atma. Whole world is Brahma. Then who is going to where? If that question arises, my God, that changes the whole thing completely. And so there is no travel at all. Shastram says, Muktaha eva, you're already Muktaha, you're already free. So you're already free. Oh, I'm already free? Yes, you're already Muktaha. Then what should I do? What is this? But why am I suffering like this? Yeah, that is why Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, all these things are there. That is why the Shastram is there. Don't worry, we are there to help you. Like that Shastram says. And so, therefore, this many paths idea, we should slowly let go. And every day new path is coming. Kundalini yoga is coming, has come. Anahat yoga is there. Nada yoga is there. And Hatha yoga, of course, is very old and it is already there. And what else? Kriya yoga is also there. And like this, so many. Music yoga, I heard. Somebody said music yoga. Okay, good. If music can get you this bonus, I'm telling you, we are all gifted because a lot of people like music. And so let all these things be there. And don't forget to add my yoga. I'm going to create a yoga school. How many of you remember the name of my yoga school? You may have forgotten. I mentioned it. Adravya School of Yoga. Remember that. Adravya School of Yoga. I'm going to, the narrative there is going to be what? Dravya means material. People are too materialistic. The world is being destroyed because we are consuming and consuming. We are not planting trees. So I will create a story and then people will relate to it. That's very easy to follow. Yeah. We have to. This two plastics. Oceans are full of plastic. And I can come up, people will say, and then I'll throw a few Bhagavad Gita shlokas and then talk about all the yajnas periodically. And then people will say, oh my God, this guy knows a lot. And he's our savior. They will say, they'll come running to me. I'm not saying I'll be a big man or something. There are very big men in Coimbatore also. Very big men are there. No. Nobody can compete with such people. But I do have to figure out what kind of beard to grow, how big it should be, all the hairdo and all that. Should I? People normally apply black color to their gray hair. What I have to do is apply gray color to my black hair. I have to figure all that out. I have to consult somebody. And all these experts are there. I have to consult them. And how to become a new age guru. Like that, I have to find out. And then Adravya Yoga. Suddenly, Coimbatore. Coimbatore is a good place. People love to come to Coimbatore. So I think I'll stay here, right here. And then I may do that. And anyway, so like this, all these paths and all that, when people say, we have to understand, none of these paths will give you moksha. Why? Because you're already muktaha. Can't give you moksha. Because every kriya, every dhyanam, everything is an action. Dhyanam is very important, but it is an action. Action cannot produce moksha. Okay. Dhyanam is important, but it can't give you moksha. It can give me antakarana shuddhi. It can give me a samadhanam. It can give me samadhi. It can give me a calm mind. And somebody writes, who is this? Madhumati Narayanji says, Swami Jaykumaranandaji. Okay, thank you very much for that nice humor there. So anyway, karma cannot give moksha. Karma, why it can't give moksha? Because karma is a result of ajnanam, and a result of ajnanam cannot remove ajnanam. Okay, only thing that can remove ajnanam, ignorance, is jnanam, what is opposed to ajnanam, and therefore we can use whatever yogas are available, use it for our benefit, and we will use it, no doubt. And then, so everything can be put under karma yoga, correct? Whatever yoga you come across, you're following, can be put under karma yoga. And then jnana yoga is of course there, a pursuit of the vision of the shastram, jnana yoga. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, like that Mahavakyam we study. Okay. Now, so Karma Yoga. verses 7 to 12 is Karma Yoga. Already in chapter 3, we studied that in detail. And the one verse that we said was important in chapter 3 was 330, 30th shloka, which is Mayi Karmani, Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetasa Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva Yudhyasya Vigatachvaraha. We studied that in detail at that time. And so that is also elaborated here. First step, of course, is proper action, dharmic action. Krishna doesn't talk about dharma here. Dharma is, he assumes we are all dharmic people. And so he doesn't have to tell us what dharma is. And he did tell Arjuna some time ago. He did tell that dharma is important. Hey, you're behaving like a eunuch. You neither male nor female. You're supposed to be a kshatriya. You can't sit here and cry like this, like that. He said. So dharma. He indicated dharma there. And so first step is proper action, dharmic action, and means what? Means I have to avoid nishiddha karma. I have to avoid adharmic actions, actions that hurt others, actions that are detrimental to myself, my family, and my society. They are all to be avoided. Then there is sakama karma. Sakama karma means this I, me, my family type of karma. That I have to slowly start minimizing. Okay. Then nishkama karma is what I have to pursue. Nishkama means a karma that is not for my benefit, but is loka sangrahartam. It is for the benefit of humanity. And that is the type of karma I must do. And of course, family is important. Family must be protected. Keep doing that. But gradually grow out of this I, me, and my family idea. Okay. That is the nishkama karma. It should be superior, sattvika karma. Then sakama karma is the madhyamika karma or rajasika karma, and then adhama tamasika karma is that nishiddha karma, prohibited karma, adharmic karma. Okay, so this is our idea, Krishna's idea of proper action, and maximize the nishkama karma, minimize the nishiddha karma, minimize karma or eliminate the karma that is opposed to dharma. It is opposed to dharma, however difficult, however inconvenient it is. And then what? Proper action and proper attitude. Proper attitude. We already studied the two attitudes that are there here. So that is Ishwararpana Buddhi. All actions are surrendered to Ishvara and all results are taken as prasada. So those are the two attitudes here. And so if you look at shloka number 10, Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. Sangam tyaktva. Brahmanyadhaya. So having offered to Ishvara, Brahmani adaya karmani, doing one who does things, giving up that attachment to one's actions or the results to one's actions or one's attachment to one's results, then what happens? Lipyate nasa papena padma patram imamasa. So, Swami Paramarthananda will say this. Even a thief in India will go to the temple and say, I let my project tonight be successful, and I will give you 50%. I'll give you 50%. That's what the thief says. So he's offering his actions to Ishvara even long before, and before he starts his job. And so he says, Swami said, that is better. That is better in the sense, at least some connection to Bhagavan is there. Someday something will happen and will change the person's life. And so dedicate all actions. When a thief can dedicate his actions to Bhagavan, why not you? And so that is dedication of karma. And karma phalam, of course, prasada buddhihi. And so I keep saying that things happen to me and I am a victim of this, I am a victim of that. Why did it happen to me? And so I have to slowly start seeing that, hey, things are happening. Karma is a big player in this thing. And even though I say, oh, I did not hurt anybody, why is God doing this to me? Hey, God is not doing anything to you. My past karma is also there. Yes, I did not do anything bad in this karma, agreed. But what about the past karma? Who's going to take care of that? Oh, past karma, correct. Yes, that is also there. What to do? And therefore, we don't know how this thing plays out. Keep doing the right thing. And I cannot keep on blaming people and God for all these things. That is my journey. No more blame. Accept gracefully what comes. If I have to cry it out, I'll cry it out. I will, if I have to scream at Bhagavan, I'll scream. And then I just quieten down. Swamiji says, if you are angry at somebody, take a wet towel. Take a nice turkey towel, big long towel, and then wet it, put it, soak it in water. And if you want to squeeze it, okay, squeeze it a little. But now it's heavy. It's heavy. And then don't tell anybody, close the door, shut all the doors. And wall. Wall means Indian wall, not American wall. American wall, if you do this, it will fall, it will break. But Indian concrete wall you must have. Then go and hit the wall. Hit the wall to your heart's content. Scream. Get it out. Get it out. And so do that. And then you become calm after that. Finally. Now I'm relaxed. Okay, do that. If that's what it takes to relax you, do it. How you would say that? Let nobody know, because if some child watches it, then it's hurting the child also. Remember, an observer of crime is a victim of crime. Okay, remember that as far as children are concerned. So be careful how you do that, and do it in the privacy of your room. And so never say why this. I have to move away from saying why is this happening to me. And I was just, I told you this, I think. This teacher, Bhagavad Gita teacher, is there I know, and his wife was not well, and he told me, he asked me, I mean, he's teaching people. He asked me, I don't know why God is doing this to my wife. He said that. I was I was stunned when he asked me this question. I was stunned. I was about to say, Mama, this kinds of things, anything can happen to anybody at any time. I was tempted to say, but I was just speechless. I was just keeping quiet. Yeah, I said, it's very sad, Mama. That's what I said. And so what it taught me that this Deha Vimana is so much. I love this body so much. I love my people so much. And I think mistakenly that because I'm studying this Shastram, somehow all great things will happen to me. Somehow nobody will die. Somehow everybody will live for 120 years. Hey, what is the connection between living for 120 years and this Vedanta Shastram? There is no connection at all. No bonus. Krishna is not going to give all these Vedantis a bonus. Oh, I'm very happy. These people are studying Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is very happy, And that, Arjuna was trying to run away, but these people are very patiently studying. So I think I'm going to give them a very long, peaceful life. Long, peaceful life and all. One thing is that we have no problem. We say, hey, whatever happens to me, I can handle it. That is the greatest strength, correct? That is the greatest strength. And beautiful it is. And so, Purva Karma is there. And therefore, things will happen. It will take its own. The body will take its journey. And Ishvara and all cannot be partial. I can't blame God. And the computer, God's computer is a perfect computer. There is no this Y2K problem and all will not be there. Computer crashes will not occur. And all this blue screen of death, they say, I heard this phrase some time ago. Blue screen of death, it seems. And it seems, the computer, right? Suddenly you're working and it says blue. Power is there, everything is okay. Blue screen. Gone. That means you have to call your boss, call everybody and say, you leave me alone for a few days. I don't know what to do. Because computer is not working. And so, no such thing will happen with Bhagavan. And so, Padma Patram Ivambasa, I will be as unaffected as this lotus leaf, which is unaffected by the slush that it is there in. Water also does not touch it. And so, that is the result, phalam, of this kind of a vision. And so, I become less and less materialistic. And I focus, my spiritual pursuit will become stronger and stronger. And of course, clarity increases. And then Shastram does its job. And I'm less affected by all these unmet expectations and so forth. And so that's the beauty of this vision of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And then what about Sannyasi? Well, Sannyasi also has to have that attitude of Prasada Buddhi and Ishwararpana Buddhi. And that's why many Sannyasis, Swamiji will give them sannyasa. And that sannyasi still studies and studies and under Swamiji and does all that is needed to be done. And prarthana, puja, everything is there. Japa, Gayatri Japa, keep on doing. So that the vision comes. So that any muck, any garbage that is there in us, and it gets neutralized, it goes out, because no assumptions can be made. Anything can, you're quiet and suddenly anger comes. Suddenly you're angry against somebody or something. Why? Because it's all there. It's all there in the unconscious, and we have to allow it to come out. Allow it to come out, and we have to process it. And so, so in the seventh shloka, even though it is part of the previous section, Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma, important shloka. Vijitatma Jitendriya. I brought that shloka in today's meditation. And so that shows the various stages in the journey of this person. Yoga Yuktaha, one who is a Karma Yogi, becomes Vishuddhatma. Vishuddha Atma there is mind. One who becomes a master of one's own mind. The mind doesn't carry the person away anymore. And then that person is a Vijitatma. Vijitatma means Atma there is Karmendriyani. And actions, the person's actions are all measured and completely decided by the mind and the buddhi. And then Jitendriyaha, the senses are also under the control of the person. Senses do not drag this person away. And then that person becomes a Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. I'm looking at shloka number 7. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma means one who understands that the Atma of every being and the entire world is nothing but the Atma of myself, which is me. That vision the person gets. And then what happens? Kurvanapi na lipyate. Well, the person continues to live, continues to lead an active life or not an active life, doesn't matter. Na lipyate. Nothing touches that person. That's the vision of Krishna here. And and that's said here, Kayena Manasa Buddhya Kevalaihi Yuktaha Karma Phalam Tyaktva. Karma Phalam Tyaktva means giving up that hold on expectation. My expectations must be met. That idea is completely given up. You're welcome to have expectations. You will have expectations, but that the expectations will be met is something you give up. That idea is give up. Therefore, Shanti Mapnoti. I'm looking at shloka number 12. That person gains Shanti. Okay. Now, let's chant from shloka number 13. Bhagya. Sarvakarmani manasa.
Sarvakarmani manasa.
Sannyasyaaste sukham vashi.
Sannyasyaaste sukham vashi.
Navadvare pure dehi.
Navadvare pure dehi.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Nakartrutvam nakarmani.
Nakartrutvam nakarmani.
Lokasya srijati prabhuhu.
Lokasya srijati prabhuhu.
Nakarma phala samyogam.
Nakarma phala samyogam.
Swabhavastu pravartate.
Swabhavastu pravartate.
Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu.
Nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम्
ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं
येषां नाशितमात्मनः
येषां नाशितमात्मनः
तेषामादित्यवत् ज्ञानम्
तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं
प्रकाशयति तत्परम्
प्रकाशयति तत्परम्
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिम्
गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिम्
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
विद्या विनयसम्पन्ने
विद्या विनयसम्पन्ने
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि
शुनि चैव श्वपाके च
शुनि चैव स्वपाके च
पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः
पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः
इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः
इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
निर्दोषं हि परं ब्रह्म निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः
न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य
न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य
नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य च प्रियम्
नो द्विजेत् प्राप्य च प्रियम्
स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढः
स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढः
ब्रह्मवित् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः
ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः
बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा
बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा
विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखम्
विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखम्
स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा
स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा
सुखमक्षयमश्नुते.
सुखमक्षयमश्नुते.
Yeah. So, Jnana Yoga. So, we may extend by a few minutes here. And so, what is Jnana Yoga? Vedanta Vichara. Inquiry into the Mahavakya. Mahavakya Vichara. What is Mahavakya Vichara? How do you do that? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Listening to the Shastram, understanding what is the Tatparyam of the Shastram, then Mananam, clearing the doubts that we have, because any understanding will come along with doubts, and those doubts are clarified, and then Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam, removal of Viparita Bhavana. Having understood the Shastram, still, why do I feel like this? Why do you feel so small? Why do I have the same feelings as before? Well, that is called Viparita Bhavana. And because that Bhavana, that mindset has been there with me for ages. And so it will take a while for that mindset to go away, despite the knowledge I have. And therefore, Nididhyasanam. These three are there. And so, systematic, consistent study of the scriptures for a length of time. Systematic. So, can't say that, 15 years back, 20 years back, Swami Chinmayanandaji was there here. So I studied, I had the opportunity to hear chapters 1 and 2. And then after 10 years, in 2005, Swami Dayanandaji had come, and then I heard chapters 3 and 4. And now I feel so blessed, Guruji, that you are teaching chapter 5. And so I've studied 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. No, this is not a systematic study. Okay, you are listening to the Shastram, very good, but it's not called systematic study of 5 chapters in 25 years. No, that doesn't work like that. And so, systematic, consistent study of the Shastram, and for a period of time under a person who knows what the vision is. That is what is Jnana Yoga. And so, what is the result of that jnanam? Look at that. Look at the 16th shloka. And jnanena tu tadajnanam. Yeah. So tadajnanam, jnanena. So that ajnanam can only go by jnanam. That is very clear. And there can't be how many types of knowledge we can't say, because ignorance of Atma can only go by knowledge of Atma. And so there is only one knowledge. And and so, and once I know myself, Atma, as that consciousness, which is not a part of the body, which is not a property of the body, which is not a product of this body, that consciousness, and that consciousness which is independent of the body. I'm beginning to understand that. And body can go, but consciousness will not go. So, which is something that will survive the body also. Correct? And then the body is needed to express the consciousness. Consciousness cannot express by itself. And so this is what I've understood as of the consciousness, and also sarvagataha. So all pervasive, because consciousness is not bound by the boundaries of this body. It appears like consciousness is trapped here, it is there inside. Well, okay, consciousness is there inside also, it is there outside also. And so that Sarvagata Atma is the topic of this Jnana Yoga. And so, and having said that, then that person who understands this has to understand that consciousness has to be free of all action. Consciousness sustains all action, but is not an actor. And that is what Krishna is saying in shloka number 13. So, Navadware Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. So, that being in this body, person being active, doing all kinds of things, still Nakurvan Nakarayan. The person is not a karta. Person understands that very well. And then 14th also he says the same thing. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu. There is no kartrutvam at all. And actions cannot be attributed to consciousness. Actions are sustained by consciousness, but not attributed to consciousness, Atma. And because actions are not there for this Atma, results of actions also cannot affect Atma. Karma phalam also will not affect. Just like in a movie, when you're watching a movie, those days screen, they give the example of a screen, and on the screen the movie is projected and a lot of activities going on, but the white screen behind that sustains this movie is unaffected by the murders that are going on in that movie, by all the drama that is going on. The white screen is unaffected. Like that, this Atma is also unaffected. So if you look at 14th shloka, line number 2, na karma phala samyogam. There is no association of the Atma with karma phala. Na karma phala samyogam. And then next line also, nadate kasyachit papam. Atma cannot take on the papa committed by the person. Atma is unaffected by the papam. And punyam also, sukritam means punyam. So punyam and papam both do not apply to Atma. Atma is there. Without Atma, no punyam can be gained. But Atma is unaffected by the punyam. And so I, being Atma, am unaffected by punyam and papam. That is the vision of this shloka and this shastram. And so punyam and papam are not there. Shankara says the same thing in Nirvana Shatkam, na punyam na papam, na saukhyam na dukkham, etc. So that is always there. And so therefore I have to, the study, what it will make me do is I begin to appreciate this vision. And so habitually I've been telling that I am old, I am young, I am male, I am female, I am a father of so many people, I am children, and I have this, that I keep on saying. Yes, it is all true, only with respect to the body. But with respect to the Atma, I have to tell myself periodically that I am not any of those. I am not anything that I've been telling what I am. Correct? I am an accomplished professional. Okay, good. I am blessed to be an accomplished professional, but I am not an accomplished professional. Who am I? Who am I? I am not accomplished. I always was. I am now. I always will be. That is who I am. Correct? So we have to tell ourselves these things. And so, therefore, so I am a mortal. No, I'm not a mortal. Body is mortal, yes. But I, Atma, is not a mortal. And so that is how that message is conveyed in these shlokas. And then 22 to 26, let's chant that. Okay. So, yeah, Sunita, go ahead. Sunita Chirendra. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः Okay. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I think we can't hear you though.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः
शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम्
शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम्
प्राक् शरीरविमोक्षणात्
प्राक् शरीरविमोक्षणात्
कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगम्
कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगम्
स युक्तः स सुखी नरः
स युक्तः स सुखी नरः
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारात्मः
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः
तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः
तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः
स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति
ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति
लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः
ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः
छिन्नद्वैधा यतात्मानः
छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
कामक्रोधवियुक्तानाम्
कामक्रोधवियुक्तानां
यतीनां यतचेतसाम्
यतीनां यतचेतसाम्
अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्.
वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्.
Yeah, let's finish the remaining three also. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyaan.
स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यान्
चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः
चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः
प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा
प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा
नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ
नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ
Yatendriya buddhihi
Yatendriyamano buddhihi
munirmoksha parayanaha
munirmokshaparayanaha
vigatecha bhayakrodhaha
vigatecha bhayakrodhaha
yas sada mukta eva saha
yah sada mukta eva saha
bhoktaram yajñatapasam
bhoktaram yajnatapasam
sarvalokamaheshwaram
sarvalokamaheshwaram
suhridam sarvabhutanam
suhrudam sarvabhutanam
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति
ॐ तत्सत्
ॐ तत्सत्
इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
उपनिषत्सु
उपनिषत्सु
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
योगशास्त्रे
योगशास्त्रे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम
कर्मः सन्न्यासयोगो नाम
पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
Yeah. So 22 to 26, we said it is jnana sadhanam, namely means for that jnanam, and jnana phalam. What is the result of that jnana? So the Shastram is pretty systematic. It doesn't leave things, it doesn't make us keep asking questions. We can ask questions if we don't understand, but there is no topic it does not cover. So jnana sadhanam. So he says here, he highlights one sadhanam, which is called vairagyam. Vairagyam means dispassion. Dispassion. Look at shloka number 22. And samsparshajaha bhogaha. Hey, all the things that you possess, you experience they're all dukkha yonayaha. They are all potential sources of sorrow, because you get caught up with that, and I get attached to all these things, and then I suffer from my own attachment. And therefore, na teshu ramate buddhaha. Wise people do not revel, do not ache for these kinds of things, and they look for something more sustaining than that. And that, of course, is Atma. And that is what he was highlighting there. And then therefore, 24, Yonta Sukhontara Rama. And that person understands that Antara Ramaha, that Antaratma, that Antarjyotihi, and that Antarjyotihi is that which is the source of Ananda. There is no other source of Ananda in this world. No object is a source of Ananda. This Atma that is there with me only makes me happy, and therefore that person recognizes that fact. And then Labante Brahma Nirvanam, number 25, look at that. Labante Brahma Nirvanam, Rishayaha Kshina Kalmashaha. Those people gain that Brahma Nirvanam, Mokshaha Ityarthaha. And then, having completed that Jnana Sadhanam and Jnana Phalam, he introduces in 27, 28, and 29 the topic of Dhyanam. It's an introduction to Dhyanam, which is elaborated in the next chapter, the 6th chapter. It is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So thus ends the 5th chapter, which has the topic of Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And why is it called Karma Sannyasa Yoga? I thought the last chapter was also called Jnana Sannyasa, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. What is the difference? Well, Krishna needed clarity, and this is also a summary of the chapters 2, 3, and 4, and therefore it is called Karma Sannyasa. And also sometimes in some books called as Sannyasa as a topic, and therefore external sannyasa is optional. Means this ashrama sannyasa, this vastra sannyasa is bahya sannyasa is optional, but antara sannyasa, in my head, in my head, what is going on? What do I understand? That sannyasa is what is talked about. And that is not optional, is what Krishna has said in this chapter. So with that, we conclude this chapter 5. And we are so blessed that we have the opportunity. We got the opportunity to be together like this for so many months to study this chapter also. And I continue to seek the blessings of Pujya Swamiji and all our acharyas and Dakshinamurti and Sri Krishna, so they may bless us to in this journey until we finish the chapter 18. So with that, I'd like to conclude today. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.